The documentary that I watched was Cowspiracy, which was a documentary that was released in 2014. I did some research on the film producers, directors, and actors. And first off, I had Kip Anderson. He was one of the two directors that directed this film. He's a filmmaker, producer, writer, and entrepreneur. Founded Animals United Movement Films and Media, which is a nonprofit dedicated to raising awareness and advocating equality for all living things. We see Kip Anderson throughout the documentary talking to a lot of different people. We also have Keegan Kuhn, who was the second director for this documentary. He is a filmmaker, director, producer, and professional musician from the United States. He's most known with collaborating with Kip Anderson on documentaries like Cowspiracy and What the Health. Richard Oppenlander, who was another actor in this documentary, he's an expert in food choice and sustainability who works as a consultant, researcher, and lecturer. He is the creator and president of Inspire Awareness Now, an organic vegan food production firm. He also runs an animal rescue center. Lisa, another actor in this documentary, is a social problems public relations specialist for nonprofits and corporations that help animals, the environment, and humanity. Some interesting things that I found about this documentary was, one, the safest we could do without having drought, famine, human conflict, major species extinction would be a 2 degrees Celsius increase in temperature, and we are rapidly approaching that. I found that interesting because it seems like such a small number, but it would make all that difference. Number two was that the meat and dairy industry produces more greenhouse gas emissions than the exhaust of all cars, trucks, trains, boats, and planes combined. 100 billion gallons of water is used every year in the United States, but raising livestock in the U.S. consumes 34 trillion gallons of water. 1/4 pound cheeseburger takes 660 gallons of water to produce. While we try to shorten our showers or shorten the amount of time we keep the tap on, eating one cheeseburger is actually the equivalent of 2 months worth of showers. And finally, animal agriculture was responsible for 51% of human-caused climate change, and raising animals for food is responsible for 30% of global water consumption, occupies 45% of the Earth's land, it is responsible for 91% of Amazon destruction, it is a leading cause of ocean dead zones, leading cause of habitat destruction, and it is a leading cause of species extinction. This was all interesting to me because after all this, the government still wasn't prioritizing this issue or even talking about it. One question this film raised in my mind was why or how does meat use so much water? So the answer I got from that was producing and raising these larger meat animals requires a lot of grains or grasses. And all of those crops and grasses in turn require water to grow. Because we are using goods from lower on the food chain to develop something larger, meat has a higher water footprint. Now, do I agree with the research that I conducted? Yes, I do agree from what I watched from the documentary and from what I researched online. I do agree with all the statistics and facts that were given to me. Some of the problems that I found were, one, socially, this affects us all because one thing humans like to do a lot is go out to eat or, throw a barbecue in their backyard, which is a lot of meat that must be cut down in order for us to see change in the future. Number two was politically, the government doesn't want to address a problem so large because of their businesses. They look to maximize the number of people making contributions, and if people now know that they are anti-meat, it will hurt their fundraising. Third was economic. So animal agriculture supports about 46,000 jobs directly, but the total number of jobs supported by the business is nearly 83,000 when all other jobs are included. The entire labor activity added $7.8 billion in value to the economy. Environmentally, agriculture-related deforestation has major environmental consequences and is destroying biodiversity. The destruction of water catchment areas caused by the deforestation of the Amazon rainforest to make room for large-scale livestock production for meat causes water shortages and global. Some predictions that I found regarding my topic in the future would be that without any gas or oil ever again, if we stopped using all that from now on, we would still exceed our maximum carbon equivalent greenhouse gas emissions by the year 2030. We will also start to see fishless oceans by the year 2048. Then the greatest rainforest on Earth, which is the Amazon rainforest, will be wiped out by 2064. Agriculture production would plummet, likely leading to global food shortages and famine if we do nothing to stop this issue. Water supplies would disappear around the world, making some regions nearly inhabitable.